Hey, y'all, it's your girl Kiara. And welcome to Toma Fucking Control. It's been a while. It's been a while since I got in front of a camera to do an episode. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey. But within that journey, I learned some key things, and hopefully, as rewarding that has been for me, could be rewarding for you guys. In this episode, we're going to talk about emotions. And why emotions? Well, this has been a roller coaster for me this couple months. And the overall lesson has been how to understand your emotions, how to use those emotions, and, be compassionate with yourself. So we're going to talk about internal pain. And that internal pain always going to creep out, especially if it's not treated, if it's not manage, if you're still trying to process things. Internal pain will always creep out. And unfortunately, the people that's going to pay the price are your loved ones, friends, and coworkers. Anyone that's close to you, right? That's just how it happens. It sucks. It shouldn't be that way. That it happens, it does. It happens. And so, in my prior episodes, I have talked about and stressed about how important it is to have self-awareness. If we don't have self-awareness, we're not going to be aware of areas that need work, that need light, that need skills to evolve in those areas so we can overall grow as a human being and evolve. Neither is to say, in order to understand our emotions, we need self-awareness. We need self-awareness. And we're going to be practicing self-awareness to process these emotions. So, in this TED Talk that I was watching, this doctor is Susan David, and she did a study where a third of the people that was interviewed judged themselves just by having negative emotions. And negative emotions is like stress, anxiety, depression, frustration. Basically, a lot of us judge ourselves for having these emotions. And when these emotions appear, when these so-called negative emotions appear, we tend to suppress it. We tend to, I'm going to distract myself. I have more other things to do than just sit down here and whine. And obviously, the more you repress it, the more it amplifies in the longer run. And it's more stronger, and majority of the time, that's when mental health crisis occurs, or you're in depression, or you're like, I don't even know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. I can't even concentrate. My thoughts are racing. What is going on? Well, majority of the time, it's because we have been suppressing all these emotions in the past. We haven't dealt and sat down to really focus on them. So now they're all clashing down. That door just opened and all of them fell on you. So what is very important for you to ask when you're exposed to these emotions? Why do I do this? Especially if there's certain behaviors with these emotions. Am I doing certain behaviors? Why do I do these behaviors at the moment that I'm exposed to these emotions? Have I always done this? Where did I learn this behavior? And so these are things that you want to question so you can have an understanding of the trigger, the type of emotion, and why is that emotion so familiar, right? Why do we act a certain way when this emotion is triggered? Now, like I said, when we push those emotions, negative emotions, and we don't process it in an effective way, we lose a capacity to deal with the world as it is. We definitely know we can't control the world. We can't control the circumstances and challenges that we face on a regular basis. But we can definitely work on how we can react towards it. And it's easier said than done. But within practice, we can get better at it. So, once again, if you tend to suppress, avoid, distract, this episode is for you. So, watching this video talking about emotional agility, I'm like, let me reflect on myself. Let me see, how can I put all this information in and see how did I act according to certain emotion? Was that emotion positive or negative? Were the behaviors that I did led towards more to my values and morals, or more farther from my values and morals? And so certain behaviors showed up, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So as I am listening to this video and taking notes and writing down, I am reflecting of how many times I have led, or my emotions influenced on my behaviors and reacted to it in an impulsive way, or how many times I have shut down, isolated, suppressed those emotions and just kept going and focusing, and then it came to a moment where I couldn't even cry. And so knowing how important these emotions are and not seeing it as a weakness is a very important thing. Knowing that the importance of being aware of what type of emotion you're experiencing, how to manage that emotion, how to say, hey, let me process this, let me go through this, because there's a reason why I'm going through this. It's important. But also being aware that because you're experiencing that emotion, that doesn't mean that that emotion is your direction. It's not a direct order. It's just data. It's telling you that I'm exposed to this situation, I'm exposed to this behavior, and it's triggering a memory. It's triggering something in me that does or go against or goes towards my values and morals, or reminds me of a moment, of a sad moment, of a traumatic moment where I feel the same way as I feel right now. Then again, this self-awareness and understanding the emotions is very important key, because you're going to use your emotions everywhere. Unfortunately, you're alive, you're in this world. For all human beings, we cannot live in this world without emotions. That's just not how that works. So, something that really resonated with me was like, Susan says, people want to have dead people goals. Oh, I don't want to try because I don't want to feel disappointed, or I want this feeling to go away. I want this sadness to go away. I want this anger to go away. I don't want to tolerate this pain no more. I want it out now. And I want to do this, but I don't want no risk. I don't want no heartbreak. I want to fall in love, but I don't want my heart to get broken. And unfortunately, those are dead people goals, my loves. We can't want to live a meaningful life and not expect that discomfort is going to be the prize for that. And that right there just opened so many things. It was like, whoa, that just shifted when I was like, bro, I want dead people goals, but I want to live. Do you want to live? Do you really want to live a meaningful life? There's risk, there's discomfort, there's pain. And that is what's going to shape you. It's going to help you grow. Man, and I have to tell you, going through grief, I recently lost my grandmother. And also knowing that I'm an aunt from both of my sisters. I'm expecting a niece, and I already have a nephew. And I had my heart broken. And these mix of emotions was horrible. I'm telling you that my friends and God know how many times I prayed for all that pain to go away. For all that pain to go away. Because I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't. It was too much. I was like, I can't deal with this. I just need you to carry it. I can't deal with this anymore. And I started little by little talking about it. I started writing down my journal. I started working out. I started just trying to vent and share my frustration in the most healthiest way. Try to seek some feedback and love and support from my community, from my gym family to my friends to my family to my coworkers. And I could see while I was asking for that feedback, I saw a lot of people giving advice out of their pain, fearful of like, oh no, you should stay single. Oh, you should enjoy life. Oh, you shouldn't go back to the love life. Oh, girl, you got to keep on going. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. And I am grateful for the advice. I'm not going to say, because it didn't have to take time to listen to me and they gave me advice and I don't want to like bash them out. It was so curious for me to see how many were projecting out of their pain, out of fear, out of that trauma of pain, of those moments of pain. They're like, I don't want to feel that way no more. So I do not want to expose myself no more. So I prefer being single. I prefer not engaging in commitment. I prefer avoiding these things because I don't want to get my heart broken. I don't want to get let down. I don't want to get attached and suffer a grief. Because we don't want to feel. We want dead people goals, people. I want to love. I want to love and cry so hard because I love that person so much. And if that person died or left, I was able to know that I have the capabilities to love again. Cry a loss of a person that was very dear for me. And still find a way for that loss to be something meaningful. And make her proud wherever she's at. So emotions are data. And it's up to you to direct them and how you want to use them. So, we're very rigid with these emotions. How can we turn this rigidness into agility? The first thing is processing our emotions, like we mentioned. We can do it through journaling. We can do it through therapy. And just gather your thoughts. Why does this emotion occur? What triggered that emotion? Is this emotion familiar? Do I have other memories attached to this emotion? And go through it. By going through that emotion, accepting that emotion exists, it gives us that sense of acceptance of like, I accept that I'm feeling sad today. I feel sad today. And if I want to sit down in my bed and eat ice cream and just cry, then I'm going to allow myself to do that. And I'm not going to judge myself because I'm here sitting down crying. I am a human being. I'm alive and I feel and I have emotions. And that's just how life is. After we accept those emotions, we process those emotions, we accept them. We be mindful of the words that we're telling ourselves when we're going through those emotions. We take those right steps in that right direction to shape the direction that we want to go. And like I said, these skills is going to help you in your personal life, but also in your professional life. Imagine Imagine you are at work. You have an 8 to 5 job. Your boss is telling you, I need a word with you. I need you in my office in 15 minutes. In your mind, you're racing, probably nervous, like, what did I do? I'm probably going to get fired. Am I getting a promotion? You have all these emotions and thought process kicking in. That right there is going to influence in the behavior and approach and how you present yourself in that conversation with your boss. Let's say your boss is giving you feedback saying, hey, it's been 2 months now that your performance has been lower than average in comparison to other coworkers of yours. And then in your mind, you're like, wow, he's attacking me or she's attacking me. How dare she? I don't feel valued. And you just react in a very negative way or start crying. We're not really willing to process those emotions to the point where we can separate those emotions and really take in the feedback of the person. If we understand our emotions, where this emotion is coming from. So when we're exposed to constructive feedback, and maybe the way, obviously, and how the boss is telling you could play a part. But if we see it, this person means well, and he's providing me constructive feedback to help improve my performance and giving me tools to help me improve my performance, then so be it. Then okay. This may hurt a little my pride, my ego. I might be going through things, and that's the time when you're going to open and communicate that maybe there's certain things that are happening that are affecting my performance or my concentration in the moment. But we're able to have those strong conversations if we learn to manage our emotions effectively. Majority of the time when we have a disagreement or argument is because we're not able to communicate well. And I'm going to tell you that here I am. I have had that issues in several occasions where I had to take a second to really decompress and be like, okay, let's talk now. Give me a couple minutes. Let me process this, and I'll catch you up and we'll talk about it. Sometimes you have to give yourself a moment to really process this and think what you want to say before you say it. And that's just right in the work environment, but even in your personal life, like, don't ignore or suppress your emotions. The more you do that, the worse it gets. Because at the moment that you are done tolerating, you're going to react in the most impulsive way and not the most healthiest way. Let's just say that. When we suppress emotions and we ignore that, 9 out of 10, we don't react well or verbalize our emotions well at the moment that we have just waited so long to talk about it that it doesn't come out nice. And I think ideally it's better for whenever those emotions are occurring, that's the ideal moment to find a way to like, hey, let me process this and let me find the time to address this before it gets worse. All right, so back to emotional agility. I know I'm giving you guys a lot. Emotional agility, you accept, you be mindful in the ways that you're talking to yourself when you're going through these emotions. This is gonna help you in your personal life, but also in your professional life. And having a general understanding that you're not your emotions. Very important thing. Let's try not to say, I am angry. I am sad. I feel sad. I feel angry. I feel frustrated. I feel stressed. You're not your emotion. Because if you're these type of person, I'm an angry person. I've always have anger issues. Anytime that there's a circumstance, a chance where it triggers your anger, you're going to react, oh, it's just because I'm always angry. I'm an angry person, so I'm going to act the way that I know that I identify myself with. So if I'm an angry person, I'm going to show to everyone that I'm an angry person every time I'm exposed to something that I do not agree on. When I can say, I feel angry, right? I feel angry versus I am angry. And I know that's an emotion, but that's not who I am. And that I need to process this emotion instead of attaching myself to the emotion and saying. And so that's very important. Be like, hey, I'm processing my emotions. I accept them. I'm mindful of how I'm talking to myself when I'm going through these emotions. I'm aware that I'm not my emotions. And I allow myself to give myself grace and compassion while going through this, right? Emotional agility is very, very much important. I think we need to stop bashing ourselves when we're exposed to these different emotions and more understanding. Okay, I'm going through this emotion. Why is this emotion appearing? What led to this emotion? What behaviors or memories are attached to this emotion? What skills do I have to address this emotion? And how I can lead it toward where I want to go with this emotion. At the end of the day, emotions are data and you're the driver. You're a driver of your life. So you lead those emotions to where you want it to go instead of vice versa. Hopefully, this very much rewarding as it's been rewarding for me, because I think that understanding and having a better, healthy relationship with your emotions helps you understand yourself better, be compassionate for others, be mindful for others, because not only you're practicing those to respect your emotions, but you're trying to respect their emotions too. And hopefully that helps improve relationships, personal and professional, and with yourself. I think that this has been a couple months of a lot of wisdom, and I'm very grateful for it, even though it sucks the way it went through. But I think it wouldn't have been as impactful as it has. So I hope this is beneficial for y'all. I hope you guys are able to find a way to have a better relationship with your emotions, understand them better, process them better. If you need guidance, please, 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 you know what to do. Go get therapy. Or if you're not so much of a pro therapy, pro counseling, then if you're faith-based, go to your nearest church, community. But try always to increase the quality of self-awareness, improve areas in your life that you feel like need some work, just so we can be better every day. We're not going to be perfect. We're not going to be completely healed. But each day, if we can learn something different and implement that in our lives and add quality to our lives, we're going to be sharing not only quality to our lives, but to others around us. And I think that's the greatest achievement we can have. So, you guys be blessed. Practice emotional agility. And take fucking control.